Hi, Lily Quinn here. This is a turtleneck that I'm ready to put a sleeve on. I put one of the sleeves on, and this is the next one I'm about to put on. This sleeve looks the same in the front and back, so I use a chalk to mark one side that I consider the wrong side, and then I fold it in two. Okay, so the shoulder is around here. This is the armhole that is going to fit onto. I turn it to the, I open this. I like to leave the edge of the side, the side seam open, and close it only after I have inserted the sleeve. So I turn the sleeve onto the right side, and I position the garment also on the right side. So I position right side to right side, making sure the shoulder part of the sleeve is sitting on the shoulder seam of the garment. Okay, so now I begin to position it along the armhole like this. So and I put it vertically so that when I'm sewing I can readily pull it out. So here we go. And here's the end. Okay, so I make sure that my stitch length is on 3. This is a regular straight seam, so my stitch length is on 3, and my stitch dials move to straight stitch, and the width is set as 0. And because this is a round seam, the armhole, and the sleeve, I use a seam allowance of 3/8 of an inch, which is right next to the foot edge, the presser foot edge. And I start. And the thing about sewing this is that you have to keep turning. Like, you sew a little bit, you stop and check to make sure that the bottom is not puckering or moving, because it's round. You can zoom your way through it. So we keep going. Slide the pins out, and I stitch, and I make sure, especially where the joint is, I want to make sure that it's open. Okay, so I keep checking the bottom or the opposite side of the stitch. Okay. Okay. Alright, so here it is, completely attached. So what I want to do is now to stitch the full length from the edge of the sleeve to the edge, the bottom edge of the garment. And I don't want this seam line to miss each other, so that's where I open and pin the seams, making sure they're matching. And then I grab the edge of my sleeve at the bottom. Now, it helps to pin. Ouch. Okay, so this happens from time to time if you're starting at a very tip. The machine is likely to eat up the fabric, especially if it's a stretch fabric like this one. So what you do is you walk it. Okay, it's doing it again. So let me check if there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this one, but I think okay, I'm not going to. Let's see. Okay, so it came out of the take up lever. This is a very good example of what can go wrong when it slips out of that take up lever. That is the, according to this machine, is on the number 5 position. Pull it out. Okay, good. I don't want to pull it up. Okay, so I go and I string it again. Okay, it's very important. So for whatever reason it came out of the take up lever. This is called the take up lever. Okay, and if your thread doesn't go through it, you won't be sewing. Okay, so we put back this and this knife. Okay, here we go. So I'm still going to walk it anyhow. Right, there we go. Now, just making sure that I'm stitching on the sleeve edge through the armhole all the way to the side seam of the garment. And make sure that this is open. The joints are open and flat. I'm going to walk it over the pin to do that. Alright. And then I continue all the way through the side seam of the garment. And the sleeve edge is folded onto itself. It also acts as a self-facing. And we fold it about 5/8 of an inch and pin. Then later on I stitch it and it will look like this. I used decorative stitch to do that, but with the exception of the bottom, our turtleneck shirt is almost done. Okay, the neckline is fine, the armhole and the sleeve attached, everything is good. Thanks for watching.